Okay.
Yep.
And we are live.
We are live.
We are absolutely live.
Like 100%. Like, is that recording right now?
It is not recording. It is streaming.
It
my
is
friend.
streaming even.
We are live streaming.
We're
We are
live streaming.
Live streaming.
Okay.
Um,
Because sometimes we'll be talking for about 30 seconds and the next thing it kicks in.
yeah,
But this is definitely streaming now.
This is out
Okay.
there to the universe.
Excellent.
Guys, welcome to the Dead Hedgehogs. My name is
Welcome,
Chris Gavigan. This is Stephen Kelly. And our special guest today, all the way from North Tipperary, we have Maurice The
Yes.
Long Acre.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's daunting being live. Never been live before.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, well,
Terrible
this
day.
is
Oh, well, do you know
Oh,
what?
it's,
I actually, sometimes I
live
think it's
live every
easier
day,
because
buddy.
you get comments in, it makes it flow a little bit better.
Shannon's here. She says, I'm here.
How are
Shannon's
things,
always
Shannon?
there.
Shannon, don't be afraid to comment, or anyone that's watching this, don't be afraid to comment as we're going live, and that way we can feed off it. We've had some brilliant lives of late where people have got involved, and it's been fantastic. How is the sound, Shannon? Is everything okay?
Tell us if there's a problem.
Yeah.
The usual crack.
The usual
You know what
crack.
they're doing at this stage, you know?
The usual crack. So, for anyone that doesn't know Maurice, he is known by the Long Acre Lad or the Long Acre Guy on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook.
Yep.
He's a farmer with a difference.
Suppose you call it that, yeah.
He is probably the same ilk as myself in thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the caption of this is Cowboys got backup. We've already done a recorded podcast earlier on today.
Let's go take a walk after it.
And I was hoping that the recorded one would be soft and light and airy. It took about I'd say 4 minutes before it went
Absolutely.
straight into the
madness.
deep end.
Madness.
Let's just say Chris got
You got
Chris-
the comeuppance.
Chris got it hot and heavy.
Yeah, but
We're still- we're still here, we're still chatting.
We're all
still-
friends.
We've had some dinner
We
now.
broke
Yeah.
bread together.
We
broke bread
did. We
together.
did.
We've had some dinner.
We did.
We've had a nice conversation.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
gone
With
to-
some nice food in the gateway as well, and
Yeah,
that's
no,
Yeah,
just
fair
lovely.
play to the
Yeah.
Gateway. They've looked after us.
they
nicely
did and did.
now.
And Pete Cassidy, if you're watching this, the food has improved in the gateway.
It has.
It was
It
actually
has.
so much. I have to say thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Tony Welling is sitting here. He's watching from Surrey.
How are
It's
things, Tony? Are
Sunny
you well?
Surrey,
He
sunny
gets
Surrey, yeah.
he gets involved in a lot of the videos and messages and Twitter and Facebook. So that
Yeah,
is
so
always good.
if you're in the chat, give us a like.
Yeah, this is the first of 2 lives we're going to do today. We're going to keep this one around 45 minutes.
Here's a good one. If you're a Long Acre follower, put a tractor emoji or some sort of emoji. Let me know.
Yeah,
Who's coming
Yeah.
from what side?
yeah. And where are
You
you
know, let's
coming
see
from?
who's in the audience.
Don't be
because
afraid to shout.
This is a big change to my followers. They're not used to this level of intimacy. You know?
Yeah, okay.
Normally I put
We're
up
going to get
something,
really intimate.
leave it to the
You're going
masses
to
decide.
feel like you've been finger blasted by God Himself.
as much as David Cuddy.
Yeah, is that what they call you now?
Yeah, the finger blast.
God.
The finger blast. What is his one? Bring back finger. And
Bring back
England
finger,
sticker, yeah. Jesus.
Well,
Is that what
that's
God-
taken
God-
a.
I've never heard God say that.
No.
Hey,
Bring
with,
back
with all the
finger.
versions of the Bible, there's no telling what he said at this point.
So, Maurice, tell us about yourself.
No.
Now,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, we'll go
Tell us
ahead.
a little bit about
Um,
yourself, right?
I suppose, look, I am 29, male, identify as a male man, Irish man.
Just to clarify that.
Just to clarify,
It's bad when you have to clarify that these
Very
days.
important because I could identify as anything, but I'm not. I can only be one thing, and that's what I was born. But I am 29-year-old from North Tipperary who has a small farm. I do tire fitting as a full-time job, and I suppose I just fell into the role of filling a void that I felt wasn't filled. I suppose voicing opinions of young people and all age demographics of people in Ireland, in rural Ireland,
Especially rural Ireland, especially
in
farmers.
rural Ireland, and to kind of voice topics and discussions that aren't being highlighted or appreciated on a bigger scale in Ireland and
Yes.
worldwide.
And you've done a great job at that. That's
Yeah,
how I got to know you about 2.5 years
Yeah,
ago, and
about
we
that,
done this
yeah.
our second podcast.
Yeah,
Well, actually, technically, it's our third now.
it is now.
Yeah.
But and it's just, look, my whole ethos is like everyone can do as they wish, but we have to have a bit of balance, a bit of understanding on all sides of things. And when it comes to Ireland, my only concerns is a loss of culture.
Yeah.
It's not that like I'm anti something, but everyone is progress. There has to be a bit of a stop in the wall, as I say. Like there has to be a wall that says we don't need to go forward, but we don't need to go backwards. Let's maintain the nice kind of plateau that we have where there's a bit of common sense,
Yeah.
and you know, an understanding amongst people. You don't need to be left, you don't need to be right, and unfortunately, you know, the governments are using every opportunity to divide and conquer.
Yeah,
It's
divide
not
and
divide
conquer.
and rule, it's divide and
Whereas
conquer.
I feel Ireland as a nature is very centre.
Yeah.
Maybe up till now right of centre, slightly right of centre, and I still think that's how we are. Most people are.
We're a conservative nation. You know,
Yeah.
look, we were probably too conservative for at least the best part of 100 years. You know, and then
Well, I don't know if you can in modern history. we
Listen,
can't-
let's not start fighting
No,
straight
no,
away.
no,
I'm not disagreeing with that, but like obviously there's been a sea change in the way
Yeah.
people's mentality has been since say 2005, 2006, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, people they it traditionally would have been very conservative.
very
country.
conservative.
Yeah.
Things really it's not that way anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
In-
maybe
in the last 3 years, though, we've advanced at a rapid rate. We went from saying, "Look, Johnny down the road is a bit quirky and he likes to do his own thing. Well, let Johnny at it.
Yeah.
I'm fine." But now Johnny's coming up to your door saying, "I am this. I want to be this.
Yes.
You have to make me and accept me for what I am doing."
Yes.
Now you have to take part in it, and that's where I said, "Now we have a problem." I was
Okay.
fine with you doing your own thing, but now you're making.
Well, that was it,
something
and that's
your own.
how I felt about it. If someone wanted, to identify themselves as a cat, fair enough, 100%.
Just don't shit
It's a
in my
bit
litter box.
it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But if that makes you happy, fair enough, fair play to you. But now you're being forced to. It's in your face all the time.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah, but is that more down to social media or is it what reality is on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, I definitely think it's becoming a reality,
Yeah.
and I don't have to go too far before I can see cases of that.
It's
So
happening
don't.
here in Ireland. It's happening in
From
small
my own
communities
home
as
house.
well. Yeah. So like, you know, it's a confusion being caused maybe from a lot of the social media, but look, it's the negligence of some parents not realizing who is influencing their children when they're online. Where's their influence coming from and things like that. But then it has to do that we've been let down by a state and by government bodies who are, you know, indoctrinating the likes of schools and things like that. And it's just forcing it too far one way. And they're not giving them the balance that, yes, you can do this, but you have to respect other things and the dynamics of society in general.
Yeah.
Society does not have to revolve around you.
Oh, of course
You
not.
know, so like it's just we've just lost that. Things are out of kilter. We've lost the balance in life.
What's the cause of it?
Breakdown of the family dynamic, I would think, is a major.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a severe lack of respect, and
From birth, from
from
School.
Look, you look at it now. There was a statement come out this week. Ben Scallon covered it off Grip Media that the SPHE curriculum in schools is going to tell young Irish white boys that they should feel privileged to be young, white, and Irish. They should feel that they have a great privilege of being white and understand how this decimates other minorities within the country.
but that in itself, does that not mean
That caused them to cower a bit.
Yeah, but also that's saying that in itself is being, but it's also an insult to colored people
Yes.
in one way.
Yeah, well,
Are we not all the same?
but
Are we not all? Are we not all meant to be the
I-
same?
all the same.
I haven't seen that report. And
I did actually see it.
I
I've seen it
can't
recorded.
say that I've seen the SPHE curriculum. So I can't
Mhm.
until I see the SPHE curriculum and say that that's what it says. I don't.
I do know that
myself.
it's a
But-
bit. They've already started rolling it out in
Yeah.
Cork.
But the thing was, right, and I'd like to say this, as a 29-year-old young man in this country, I would not be half as aware of parenting issues, young people. I wouldn't be aware of any of this, only that there are so many concerned parents message me stuff, men and women.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just like, where do we
Is
go
that
with
Is
this?
that from what they're seeing in their kids are learning in the curriculum?
They're concerned about
Or
their
is
children
it,
are
is it
learning.
what they're reading on social media
No,
about what
Do you know
potentially
something?
is going to be implemented from the curriculum? Do you understand?
Parents have a way to protect their children online.
Mhm.
If they're at home, you can say, look, you're not allowed on the thing, or
Yes.
you can't look up this. But in school, they are being told by the teacher, this is what it is,
Yeah.
you know, and that's very dangerous. And you've seen the books that were released earlier this year and at the end of last year, like, and there was major concern and uproar that they were being put on the kids' shelves and Easons, and they're going to
Yeah.
be entered into the
I've read about this,
Mm.
and
and
I've
teachers have contacted
when-
me
when I
explaining this,
see-
so
when
that's
I
the
s-
only reason I know.
when you see again, if no matter what you are, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, trans, whatever. Absolutely brilliant. But I think that that decision needs to be made as an individual getting towards
Consenting adult.
yeah, consenting adult or late teens. You sort of have to figure it
But
out.
I think, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying.
But
like,
now,
I'm an
now
advocate
in
or
our own
anything, 'cause
school
I
in
don't-
Swinford, and sorry for cutting across you, in Swinford, in a small town in the west of Ireland, in County Mayo, there's the trans flag is put up
See,
for the
that's
last 2 or
wrong.
3 years.
That's wrong.
But no, it was the pride flag. not
Yeah, well, the
flag.
pride flag.
Sorry,
Sorry.
one flag now.
Whatever. But what? Yeah, but like we have to get away from like I'm just playing devil's advocate because like again it's not really a topic that I would have a skin in the game.
Mhm.
But
Pardon the pun.
we've had years and years of it being the same way, and gay people were demonized in this country.
Yeah, which is completely wrong.
Demonized and
Well, they
and
shouldn't have been
and
demonized.
and institutionalized.
You see, that's
You know,
that's
so
that's the key.
And-
No one is anti-gay.
No.
No one is anti-lesbian. No one is
Yeah,
even
but
anti-trans.
what I'm
Although I
saying
think
is
it's
I'm
like the
anti-kids.
the only way for the next generation of kids to have a better moral compass about being inclusive with people that are different than them, say if they are straight, is to learn and to understand.
yeah. But now
And
now
it
they're
should,
being
I believe it should be from the parents to teach them kids
Well,
that.
the parents
but
are not
most of the
sound
par-
body and mind.
but a lot of parents from an older generation might be a little bit bigoted.
yeah.
So
I don't believe it.
So what?
I just touched on one key subject here, right? We're in the process of having the word woman removed from our constitution. When you remove the word woman, right, you're removing the word
I didn't
mother,
hear this now.
you're removing the word breastfeeding. Okay,
Mm.
these are key words that define a mother's role in a
Mhm.
child's life.
Mhm.
Now, coinciding with that is along with Agenda 2030, and people can think what they like, but MAPS is a part of that agenda, and that is introducing minor attracted persons as its own identity. I've spoke about this on a podcast already this year. It is very, very important.
I mean, this shouldn't even
If
be
you
a
lose the
conversation.
definition of what a woman is and what a woman and a mother and a breastfeeding. I done a funny video about. I said this is a bull, and the calf was nudging at him. Right? I said, you know, he can nudge it all he
Yeah.
likes, but he's not going to get milk out of it. You know.
Yeah.
Nature knows better. We have to be able to allow for that. But the main thing is not to lose the identity of an age of a child, the consent of a child.
Yeah.
What a woman is, her role as the mother's, as the child's guardian or whatever. I'm not saying men can't father children alone. Look, their partner might pass away, different things happen, but it's all just about protecting the kids from animals. And there are animals and monsters that walk amongst us. They're not mentally well, and they want to indoctrinate this on children.
Is it a mental illness?
It's funny how it's come along with the surge in autism, and that a lot of people are linking that it's people who maybe haven't felt like they fitted in other dynamics of society, and they find that now they identify that. You know,
But again, just going back to having this, like gay people and people that were other than a straight white male, or you know, like I've actually watched Paul McGrath's documentary, who was abandoned at birth, and was black.
Paul McGrath.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
and now he reconciled with his mother. But like, I watched his
His real mother.
Yeah. I watched his quite long conversation on Virgin Media there at like 12 o'clock at night. I probably watched an hour and a half of watching, but it's fascinating. Like, and
But before you go any further, when you were in school, there was always a saying, yeah, and I'm if you didn't believe someone, yeah, and I'm Paul McGrath's father.
Yeah.
You know,
Makes sense now.
yeah, it does.
But he ran off before the baby was born.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, getting away from Paul McGrath, it's like anyone that was other than like us three was ostracized from society. And I'm not saying that we're all agreeing that it's wrong, but the reaction to that is that generations down the line, as we are being more inclusive, is that these people are trying to right some of the wrongs that are of the past. Now, is it too in your face, as one of the commenters said? Is it too in your face? Possibly. So possibly but it also flies in the face of, well, how do these kids
But kids
grow
shouldn't.
and get better.
Kids kids in national school shouldn't be taught about.
But they're also, but they shouldn't be taught racism, and there's lots
No.
of racism.
Well, no, I don't think anyone's teaching them
everywhere,
racism.
Everywhere.
If
they not just in
not
this
in
country,
school.
like, from kids are taught to hate as they are taught.
Oh,
to love.
100%. But not. It's not in the curriculum.
No,
You know,
obviously.
We're going to go out today and we're going to be taught how to be a good racist.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not taught in the curriculum. But I think I don't know what the SPHE curriculum is. I know that it's such a divisive subject.
I'm very heated about it as well because I have kids.
Yeah.
I have kids, and that's why I have skin in the game in that respect.
Pez Power Production says
thanks,
depends where
Chris.
you go to school.
What's that?
Depends where you go to school, and that's the other thing is that.
Can we just cover just one last thing? Enoch is still locked up. I'd like to just point this out. Right?
Yeah.
Enoch Burke is locked up.
Yeah.
For over 100 days now or something, right?
Yeah.
Over 100 days. Yeah, he'll spend Christmas, the lucky
He's gonna
bastard,
spend Christmas
in jail.
In jail, and I would just like to cover the man stood on his principles. His way around it might have been correct, standing outside the school that long, but I would think any stand-up man would be in the same situation when forced to bend the knee to nonsense.
Yeah, but like, hold on, Enoch Burke, like everyone else has a choice in this. Enoch Burke is the adult in this. He won't even promote a child, just even a small bit.
I won't.
Fine then. You wouldn't either. But you're not a teacher. And second of all, being an educator, standing outside the school and demanding your rights to do it. Yeah, he could do that, but he's also making an absolute fucking mockery of what the system is.
The worst thing for young people was when they stopped teaching them how to lose.
Well,
Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes,
I
100%.
would just say
when
Enoch
they removed
Burke,
losing in life.
Enoch Burke has lost this battle. He multiple times. He's lost it at the High Court. He's lost it
There
at
are
every
pedos
other
walking
court.
out of prisons or out of courtrooms with actual convictions and things that who walk off scot-free, and this man is held in.
I was going to go through some of the
Yeah, I understand that.
the comments, but I want to talk about Enoch as well because
I'm not the devil's advocate, but I just want to say that
people. I've got messages in why haven't you made a video about Enoch Burke? Because he's comedy gold. He could be comedy gold. The reason is, A, he's a Mayo man. B, I have so many conflicting thoughts on the man.
Yeah,
I agreed with his principle and what he done, but and I admire. The thing is, it's so strange. I admire the fact that he's that stubborn that he won't give in. But has he turned it around? And now is he driven by some strange belief and driven by his mother apparently?
Yeah, of course.
And is he using this as an ego trip?
Yeah, 100% he is.
But I'll just put in and say that. So if it comes out in the morning, because I know you want to discuss the hate speech thing, but you see
We'll be
me
doing
in
that
the
at
morning-
9 or half 9.
You see me in the morning, Chris, that I'm not allowed to name Eamon Ryan online or publicly. And I do an Enoch Burke on, and I decide to stand outside wherever, Department of Agriculture, Charlie McConnell, whoever it might be. And I go through the same rigmarole as him. Are you going to tell me to take this out?
But I'm not saying that.
Just genuinely asking.
No, I'll tell you what my
You
answer
can
is.
fuck off.
He has no right to be employed by that school. And he has no right to say whatever he wants to any child in that school, whether it goes against his beliefs.
But it wasn't
or
what
not.
he said. It was what he wouldn't say.
Yeah, it's what he wouldn't say. So I'm not saying he didn't have to play what he did. What he was trying to do is play the victim in something that he wasn't really the victim in. He was trying to impose a belief of his job is to teach that child. He didn't want to teach that child. He had no intention of teaching that child.
No, but what?
He wouldn't address the child.
No, wasn't the issue that he wouldn't call the child. He wouldn't. What was it that he wouldn't call? They them.
Yeah, fine. But that's not his choice. He's employed by the state. He told whether he wants to call or what. If he doesn't want to, walk out of the school, go somewhere else.
Well, if we were in school, think about when. I was in school a lot sooner than the rest of you were.
That's his ideology being imposed.
Why is it
on
that
the
it's a very divisive question because I put a poll up on Twitter and a poll up on Facebook, and sometimes these things go nuts. And every time I mention Enoch Burke, and the reason I put them up is I want to know what people really think. Yeah. And I would say 75, if not 80% of people completely backed him.
Yeah. Yeah, but that again,
that could be a lot of my followers would have that
100%
thinking anyway.
You can't, and most of the people I talk to.
And I didn't let any of my
No, you wrote.
my
I've seen what you
decision.
wrote,
Yeah.
it's pretty-
Yeah.
pretty
So
obvious.
I gave the options, both options. I made them clear, A and B, and I never give my point of view at all.
But
I just
like,
asked the questions,
he's
and
the one that's
80%.
made a political football out of this. He's the one he's chosen his choice of not using they them pronouns when
Yeah.
the child wants it. If someone is if we're hanging out and I want to be called something,
I'd tell you go off, no.
then that's fine.
Yeah,
But that you don't have to be in my company.
I've called you a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
things,
the
Chris,
choice.
over the years.
Yeah. Enoch Burke is the adult here. He's choosing to work in that school. He's choosing to have the ideology he has. So
It's not ideology though.
it is his ideology
It's
because
not.
someone else has a different ideology.
But it's science based on fact.
Science based on fact doesn't matter.
If the child want to be called Ted, that's different.
No, but the ideology is what he believes. It doesn't matter whether
Serious
an
question to
ideology
you.
versus-
How many genders is there?
I don't care. It's none of
Sure.
like
It's-
my
no
opinion.
man is willing to
opinion-
stand on this opinion
My
that there's a
opinion.
man and a woman.
No. My opinion
But
doesn't matter.
it's an honest question. I mean,
How many
it-
genders are there?
My opinion doesn't
answer.
matter.
Well, there's
I
only
don't-
two.
but, like
Right.
you're just you can say whatever
But,
you want.
but
What is a woman?
Why it doesn't?
Adult, human, female. Like
No,
they're
but
simple questions.
I'm not
you
going to
answer.
judge you on
No, I don't care about.
Hmm.
But I
Well, you're here to, you can't say that and then not back it up.
No, what I'm saying is,
I knew this was going to get juicy. Woo!
I'm telling you this. He's a teacher and he's employed by the state, and he is imposing his ideology on that classroom by not acknowledging someone else's right to be whatever the fuck they want. This is a free society. You want to be free. You don't want to have the government in your pocket. Well, this is a part of freedom. I don't care what you think of me.
The
or
person
what I
has to
say, or what I
integrate
be.
with
Well,
society.
you should care. You should care.
Why? I don't
Because
care
it'll
what
be your
anyone
child
thinks of
someday.
me.
You know, your child could end up in the same scenario, being accused of being a bully because they.
Well,
won't
your
call
child
somebody-
might want to be a they them.
They can be whatever they want, but I'm not going to call them it.
But so your teacher should. But their teacher should be.
No, they
No, I
shouldn't
don't.
have to.
I
The teacher should not
The
have to
teacher
address
should
how to be.
fuck off then.
Under 18, I just don't feel that you have the authority to be making decisions like that.
I don't think they should
Or-
have
or,
make a life
arguments
altering
like
choice.
that. Like you have to call me this. If you went home to your outlet and said, "Dad, you're going to call me Superman from now on," he'd show you how to fly.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I definitely
and
know.
this is the same attitude that persecuted gay people years ago.
But nobody's
And if you say
persecuting
that
gay
it
people.
isn't, that's why gay people were institutionalized. This is why there's a fucking
Oh,
flag outside the school.
I
So
don't
you
agree with
can't
that
say-
at all.
No, that's not.
Well, you
No,
don't
no,
think
no.
gay people were
So-
persecuted and
They were-
kids weren't kicked out of homes?
I'm
thrown
not.
into the
Hold
police,
on,
that's a
hold on,
tricky
hold
one.
on. That's different. Of course, there was people, but in a general sense,
If you kept to yourself.
Yeah.
Not that you had to hide it.
of course there
kept
was
to yourself.
families. Of course there was families
know.
that didn't want their kids being gay or different. That was a wrong thing in Ireland.
Yeah.
Parents didn't even want to see their
100%.
mothers,
No one's
you know
arguing with
what I
that.
mean? Even
No one's.
straight
I'm not
people
arguing with
No,
that.
but what I'm saying is this is the.
I'm not.
This is
I'm not.
no
But there was
different.
also Chris. There was also Chris. A lot of straight lads
Yeah.
that were kicked out of their homes for
Yeah.
different reasons.
Yeah.
There's no flag for
If-
them
if-
outside
if
the school.
you got a girl
but
pregnant
I'm
when
not
you were a
saying
young
that.
single
What
man,
Where's
I'm
their
kicked
where's
them
their
out.
flag?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is straight lads aren't a minority.
Well,
We're
you
becoming-
know
we're
what? We're
becoming
becoming
a
one.
straight.
We're becoming one.
God Almighty.
And I obviously, I mean, I'm sure we still hold majority, but it is becoming less and less and less. It is, and
People are more
gay
embarrassed
then it
to
became a thing that
say this.
you were cool to be gay, and there
Yeah.
are some brilliant, cool gay people. I have no problem with gay
Tony
people.
Stark,
Some of my
yeah.
best friends are gay people.
Just that
Well,
one
actually,
said-
they're not, but I do know gay people. But
Tony Stark is a trans man. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's a-
no way.
Yeah, or not Tony Stark. Tony Stark.
Tony
or
Stark,
Stark?
Iron Man.
No, not Iron Man. Tony Stark. He's long, blonde, white hair. He does a lot of podcasts and everything. He's a big yak farm in the
Yeah.
States, right? And you watch his take on it. He says, "There's two genders. You're a trans man or you're a trans woman to be a man, whatever."
Yeah.
He goes, end of. He said, "I am doing this before it was ever popular." And he
Yeah.
a meltdown, like.
Yeah.
on a
But like
podcast.
I'm not getting into that point.
He said,
part.
"No."
I'm
He
saying-
said, he said, "The Republicans love me." He said, "I'm a rancher." He said, "I'm just telling the other. And most of all, I tell them I'm a man with tits." And he goes, "They respect me for it." He said, "They no wish me." He said, "If I go and tell them you have to talk to me like a woman, they'd laugh." He said, "They'd laugh you
But
out."
my argument isn't that. What I'm saying is that believe whatever you want. Like that's not. I don't care. Like that's not the part of the debate that I actually give a shit about. My thing is Enoch Burke doesn't have a right to believe and impose
He's
what he
every right.
believes He doesn't have. He can believe
But
whatever
he's not
he wants.
imposing. He's not
He can
partaking.
believe-
It's a big difference.
But he's refusing to acknowledge a child in the classroom.
I don't
That's
accept
why-
delusions.
But like it's a
But I
child
don't
in the
accept delusions.
classroom.
It's very simple.
not-
I don't have to play
Once
along
an
with your
adult,
delusions.
like what you impose on an adult education class can't be the same.
But
as
he's
what
not
you bunch of
imposing.
kids.
He's just not partaking. It's a big difference.
But
he's not saying to the
he's
kids,
demanding.
there's only
He's
two
demanding
genders.
to be in that classroom,
Hold on.
insulting that child to
They
his
said,
face.
no, he said,
That's exactly
I
what
want
he's
to
doing.
talk to the child. I will not acknowledge them as they, them. But he was not imposing. He's
But
not partaking. It's a big difference.
That,
I'm not imposing. I'm just not partaking.
that child is in that classroom, and he's basically saying that what you are, I don't believe in. That's fine, but he doesn't have to teach that child. And the reason that he's standing outside that
doesn't
school
have to
is
acknowledge
not
it,
for any. It's anything but his own ideology.
But what's around the corner after this, say that being imposed on people, is the hate speech. So you're going to have to, you have to understand how this all follows each other.
We'll be talking about that at 9 o'clock. We're not going to touch the hate speech until later on.
Yeah.
But again, Chris, you've surprised me with the Enoch Burke thing.
I just think Enoch Burke is a self-serving cunt. That's what he is.
Oh.
And I would fucking tell it to him, to his face and his mother's face.
But
And
wait
everyone
until, as I
else.
said, wait until we're touching on the hate speech again, but wait until he's arrested for hate speech, or I'm arrested for hate
And
speech.
I am for calling Enoch Burke.
You're going to be on the right side because you're coming across from the left's perspective that you have to accept our delusions.
I don't accept.
I'm not
I
playing
don't
along
want.
with the society's totalitarianism of forcing this
I
shit
actually
down
don't
my
care what
throat.
other people do.
It's not happening.
I don't care what other people do.
I think this was a way
People
of
are
him.
sitting watching this like, wow.
I think it was a way of fighting back at what he was being told to do.
Yeah,
And he didn't agree with it. And I have to admire him for that.
I that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Now, has he gone too far?
Slightly.
Slightly, yeah. I would say that he's gone too far.
spent half a year in fucking prison
Yeah.
at our expense.
Look
The,
at
the, the,
because-
the thing, you know,
because
he's
he
made it.
wouldn't-
He has made the point. I think he's losing the high moral ground by
He
keep
hasn't
turning
had-
up.
he didn't- How could he have the
Just-
IMAR?
Well,
just
I
go
would
on
say
Patreon,
I would say
right?
majority
There
of
was
people
men
would
shot in this
disagree with
country
you
because
there,
they wouldn't
Chris.
speak English.
That's but what I'm saying
Great
is,
point though. There
What's
were men
that?
shot in this country because they would not speak English.
yeah,
They were asked by black and tans, "What's your name?" They'd say, "Michael is kind of that," and I'm dumb. I'm not Gaelic speaker myself.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't pronounce it in English. They were shot for it.
and
Don't ever forget that.
you're equating that to Enoch Burke standing
I'm
out outside the
showing
school.
the principle
Say,
is based
basically
within our
spitting in the
culture.
face of the justice
No, it's
system
not.
that they fought for.
Our justice system is completely fucked up.
Maybe,
It-
but they
look
it's
what
the
it's
one
doing.
they fought
It
for.
has a man because he wouldn't say a word in
but it's
prison.
not the English system.
It has
is
men
it?
who fucking fiddled with children out on bail and different old things because they're best mates with the judges, right? Don't talk about the court system in this country. The English might be gone, but they never left, and their judicial system is still within this
But
country.
but what you're
They're
saying
in charge
is
of
that,
RT, they're in charge of the guards, they're in charge of many things.
yeah,
The English
but
have not left.
But you want to,
I'm not doing a bull McCabe, but they're fucking still here.
It feels like you're doing a Bull
They
McCabe,
are, but like this is the reality, though.
and I love it.
And it's becoming very apparent in the last couple of months in this country and year.
but
I feel like I can sit this one out and just let Morris talk for me.
Do you see where I'm coming? There's literally, we have 4 people in high power in this country who have absolutely no business being in the positions they're in. I am all for integrating people into our working society from different nations and different things like that, especially if they have areas of expertise. But when it comes to your guards, your, say, television service, things like this that are very important because of how they change the face of society.
Yeah,
It
and they
has
do.
to be somebody who is at least second generation Irish. Meaning
I
they-
believe
they
that- well,
can't come over on a
in
fucking
in
plane,
America, in like
They wouldn't
it's
allow
like
that.
it's like to be an American
It's like having
president.
the
You
KGB
have to be
come and
born
work
in
with you.
America. I think you
Yeah.
have to be 2
The
generations.
English wouldn't hire an Irishman to run the fucking police force. That
No.
wouldn't happen. They wouldn't
Right,
have the
well,
BBC.
that where I'm with you there, 100%.
Yeah.
Having that fuckers.
Right, okay, we're going to go through a lot of the
We're
comments.
infiltrated,
Or,
but we were always
positive
infiltrated.
energy is back. You were very interactive with us the last night.
we need you here right now. We need you in the office.
How are the lads tonight? Jazzy jacket. That was a bit of a tongue twister.
Anything
There,
we pull
Stephen.
off,
Thank you
huh?
very much. Evanza, Kelly, my mic is very loud. Morris and Chris's is fine. Is it still loud? Is it okay?
Push the mic away from you.
Okay, well, I was trying to there actually, but
You did the opposite.
it was like Morris kept blowing it back at me. The government want us polarized, demoralized, and chastised. Jim, yes, meow. It is getting a bit heated. Turn down Cowboy's mic a tad. Are we okay now? Leo Nolan, massive shout out to Leo Soundskin from Athlone. Never understood pride celebrations. It should not be a thing. Just let's get on with being who we want to be and not having to have a party for a certain population. That's my point. I mean, there's no straight lad marches.
Every life matters.
Every life matters. Every life matters.
Every life matters.
Even when people were saying the Black Life Matters, and I said every life matters.
Every life matters.
Like, yes, you know,
people cause their own segregation. This is what I don't bloody understand.
Yeah, well, people do. But when you look at what the pushback was against historically, that's where the black rights movement came from in the 60s in America.
We have no right to talk about this topic, but if you watch the black leaders in America talk about it, they have very little holdback for the people from the black communities who have burst out and had outrages and different things. If you actually watch the people who represent them communities talk about the movement and what it's done, they said it's only caused further divide and problems. And we have ministers here in Ireland who put up a different flag every week for the cause that suits their agendas. Yeah, and it's sickening. And then wanting to have it put on government buildings.
But the thing is, if you talk to something similar with the blacks, if you talk to gay people, the actual gay communities, and they're not in support of what's going on. They want to just live their lives.
I agree.
There is a place in Ireland now where gay people and lesbian people are not treated any different, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it should have
any different. It should have always been like that, and we found a place like that. But then there's another agenda going on with different groups that want to push it further. And now they want to be lauded and put up on a pedestal and want to be
just give a fair platform to them. Is gays against groomers? So that's by the LGBT. You've probably seen them.
And there are straight people that are bad people as well. No one is saying that every straight Irish white.
But if you actually watch gays against
man
groomers,
is good.
Dynamic of how they go through. How these different agendas are pushed. It's very interesting. Like, it's just from their perspective. As I said, we haven't got to comment on it.
Positive energy goes, please hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Even if you don't like it, it.
Give us a thumbs down. That's all.
Shannon goes, one group of society shouldn't dominate the others, but we society seem to be struggling with finding a collective solution. So many boundaries are being crossed in lots of situations.
Yeah,
100%.
Like my argument isn't. I'm not getting into the gender ideology. I actually don't give a fuck what anyone says about anyone. I don't care what people think about me, and I don't care.
You do though.
I really don't. Really,
actually, he
really don't. No. But
I think that's I think everyone cares what people think.
The only people that I care about are those that are close to me. I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that it's Enoch Burke, whether he may have been right or not right, he still doesn't have a right to a job where he teaches that child, because he's trying to push his ideology.
But Leo Varadkar's pushing his ideology.
Fine.
On me.
That's fine. But he's a politician, and this lad is teaching children in the classroom. So I
don't see much of a difference, because he is teaching him at a much more vulnerable age.
Yeah, it's more dangerous.
It's more dangerous.
The people that have control of Leo Varadkar's agenda is the election.
Well, I tell you what, Leo Varadkar doesn't have control over Leo Varadkar.
Right? Yeah,
he's Klaus's buddy.
And you will have to agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or any of the government don't seem to have control over it. Because if they were proper Irish people, they wouldn't be making the decisions that they're making.
No. But what I'm saying is that the adults are us, and we can change that. Whether you believe in democracy or not, we have a mechanism to get rid of Leo Varadkar. Enoch Burke being in a school in the classroom and imposing his ideology is wrong. Whether it's a gender ideology or a gay rights ideology, or if it's a right-wing ideology.
But should the ideology be in the school in the first place?
Is his mic good?
I've had no issue.
Let us know if Maurice's mic is good now, because there's a comment in here.
Is there a problem?
It could do with being turned up a little bit, it says. And if anyone's wondering why I'm not being ignorant looking at the phone, I'm looking at the comments.
He's watching the comments.
It's like it's like playing the skin flute and watching yourself in the mirror.
which you do all the time.
Yeah, I do.
It's your favorite thing.
My favorite
thing. Looking at himself is the only way.
Poor man's twosome.
If I if I had a second,
the only way he gets hard these days is looking at himself in the mirror.
In my school, Leo Nolan says, in my school they have gender neutral toilets.
That's
Now
completely
explain
wrong.
that. Yeah, which is correct. I can't even understand how they have them. How they have.
I don't even know how people have them
I've
at
seen
home.
them. I've
You use
seen
the cat box too, do you, Chris?
I've seen this in pubs and venues in Dublin, where can you imagine at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Some of the yolks and rogues that be inside the toilets.
like men and women going into the same toilet?
Yeah.
It would be mayhem. Well,
I
I
see
mean,
it
and
all.
not
You wouldn't
I've
get into the
been
women's
not.
one.
I mean, not
I've
in
seen
a.
it all the time.
Yeah, I know that, but
Been
that's
in loads of pubs in Dublin that have done
that's up to you. That's there's a choice for that to happen. But this is actually the only way you can go for a piss
that. Yeah.
is if you go in with the like. It's great
What,
for
they're
us,
all
but I'd say it's
stalls?
very scary for women.
I watched
don't
an
think so.
interesting joke.
What?
lately. It
You
was-
mean
You think that women are going around fighting because someone had a fucking piss in a stall?
but
the
my
next stall?
my
That's
issue
not okay,
issue
that's not
that's
okay.
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it has the potential to turn nasty, where you have drunk lads going in at
Yeah,
2 o'clock in the morning
maybe,
into a.
But,
into
they,
a-
but the problem
don't
is
tell
that
me,
the-
and,
Can
and
I
worse,
just say-
worse
Go
with
too far.
drugs.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Can I just
Joke
say,
could go too far.
hold it. The problem there isn't the toilets.
But it's
That
but,
is a true
but it's
statement.
of
That's
course
the
it is.
statement.
But
How
it's
is it
it's
Don't
going to
invite
happen.
trouble.
It's
Don't
going to
invite
happen.
trouble.
Yeah, but
You're inviting trouble.
The problem is the arseholes that aren't brought up right that would do something.
But
to
sure,
a
there's
woman in
loads
the
of them,
toilet.
and there's people that have been brought up right
Yeah.
that would at 2 o'clock in the morning when
Yeah.
they're coked out of their head,
Yeah.
when they've 10
Drugs
Jack
is a massive
Daniels, when
issue.
they've
No, but
15
they're
pints of
not-
Guinness,
That's not an
they've a
excuse.
dose of the horn, and they're not going to
It's not
take
an
no.
excuse.
It's not an excuse, but
Obviously.
but you're letting
Nobody's
you're
excusing.
you're facilitating something
Yeah.
bad that could happen.
Yeah.
You're facilitating something that bad that can happen, and you can't say that that's not what could happen.
What could
You
happen?
don't
but
smoke in a gas factory. Just that's it.
Yeah, look, if you, I don't know, I've been in plenty bars in Dublin that have gender neutral toilets, and I've never even heard of an issue.
Yeah, but it's just a it's just a
I've
nonsense.
been,
of it.
I've
Why
been,
did they have to change
like,
it?
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm not. Maybe I'm completely naive to this.
Mhm.
Maybe I am. Maybe it's not an issue.
I watched an Irish public.
But there's a
joke.
potential
No,
to be an
but-
issue. I don't know. I haven't heard of it anyway, but I'm like there's definitely potential for an issue. It's inviting trouble, in my
It is,
opinion.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Jim Banda, I sympathize with Enoch, but he is in jail for breaking a court order. Okay,
That's why
that
you
is
do
true. You're 100%
And
right.
if everyone takes that approach,
Yeah, well, we were all in jail.
But
Yeah.
you see how the courts will advance on that.
Which-
so if I do
which-
it for hate
Which
speech,
brings up
the
something, and
property can be
we're going to
removed.
have to cut this in about 9 minutes. Can anyone tell me if I didn't turn up for court for a TV license date?
all you have to do is stand outside the school.
No. And then you get a fine.
Yeah.
If I don't pay that fine, will I end up back in
Why
court?
would you pay your TV license after the fiasco with Tuberty?
But sure, that
I
was
wouldn't
another
put money
thing.
in
But I was
that
summoned to
pocket.
court and I didn't turn up. Did I not tell you that?
No.
It's only happened last week. I'm sure there'll be a video about it very soon. But
Well,
anyway,
if
and I got a letter.
you're-
I was told that don't bother, everyone's getting them. And then I was like, because I happened to be at the fucking house at the wrong time.
There has been a mass stop on people
Yeah.
getting the TV license,
don't-
and rightly so.
do you know how it all started? Dave McSavage. He went and ended up in.
I blame
court.
Dave McSavage. In
Sorry.
fact, I'm going to send the fine
Well,
off.
I
to
think
Dave
anyone who's
McSavage.
They
listening,
ended up,
don't
ended
pay
up
it.
in court for not paying his.
I don't
TV
pay for
Oh, did he?
propaganda. It's
I'm
simple
sure
as that.
he got canned by RT. He was making a bit of a statement.
Okay.
As I
So,
said, why would you pay for propaganda?
Jim says, I sympathize with Enoch. Did I read that already?
Yeah, you read that one.
He is in jail. Oh yeah, breaking the break. He is. That is true. And if we all decided not to, if we all decided to break a court order, well then there would be.
The
So that
scary-
is a fair point, Jim.
the scary advancement to the courts is
Philip's
they can take
Cusick
property.
goes spot on.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was spot on about, Philip. You might let us know.
One of us was right.
One of us was
Can we
right,
just say-
and it was definitely me.
You
Yeah.
support Chris.
I have
Um,
one person.
I can't stop.
I hope I have one person on my side.
I can't stop staring at the ring light on the wall. Not gonna lie. What is the ring light on the wall?
It's the reflection over here, but
Sorry, Chris. Do you wanna try and tone that?
Oh, I see it now. If you move
Where is it? Oh
it
yeah.
up here.
Is that the one you're talking about, Chris? Is it?
I'll
say that
I'll
too.
fix
We'll
that.
fix that out for the
I'll
next
fix
slide.
that for the second
We're only
half.
going to be on another 5 minutes here. Just want to get through as many of these comments as
Yeah.
possible. Leo and Enoch Burke stood for his beliefs, but went about it in the wrong way. Leo, I would have to agree with you there a little. Or he's starting to go about it the wrong way, or he ended up
He's
going about it the wrong
6
way.
months in prison.
Yeah,
at our
or he's
expense,
going about it
so
the wrong way.
like,
Yes, I agree
Hey,
with
look,
Chris.
I live without electricity. or
positive
water for my
energy.
kids.
yeah, true.
Positive energy. Yes, you agree with Chris.
prison in a
In
different
what
sense.
respect? In was that? Leo sounds at Leo sounds like it. That's Chris and Leo talking among themselves. Fire ahead. Don't mind us.
Yeah. I was just chat.
Who
wait,
wasn't being
That's why
insulted by Cowboy?
Can I just say I like
Who hasn't been insulted by Cowboy? Well, the same lad that wrote that. I have
has been
insulted.
a lot.
I have insulted this man to
Yeah.
the hilt, to the point where I nearly drove him into a mental breakdown. Oh, you weren't there. I keep forgetting that you weren't in America.
Yeah, I know.
He nearly
I'll
lost
be
his
there
shit,
next
but
one.
we were great friends. We were great friends.
And in fairness, the fact that like ye started so well when you were meeting up with the flight out of Dublin.
Oh my God! Well, that's for another. That's a podcast on its own. Okay, Leo goes. Enoch shouldn't have to change his workplace or his beliefs to suit child's identity.
Don't be a teacher then.
I also agree with that as well. See, that's why I haven't done a sketch on Enoch. I'm just so conflicted by him. There, because I literally would be contradicting myself in the same video, because I'd find something funny and it would contradict the first thing I'd say. So it'd be like it'd be like having a schizophrenic fit.
Like life is supposed to be a team of contradictions. You're not supposed to have everything. It's not.
Oh, I know that,
easy,
but I'd literally be contradicting myself. I knew a girl once that would literally contradict herself. She'd be telling a story and she would contradict herself in the next sentence. Anyway, but she kept on doing it, and that's how I feel that a video, if I done about Enoch Burke, would do. Leo Nolan, Enoch. Oh yeah, done that one. Jim says there are no laws that compel us to use pronouns that individuals demand.
Not yet.
There are simply no laws yet. The state was not telling him to use them.
No, the expectation of him was that
Jim seems to know his shit.
Maybe, but there was an expectation. Well, his argument was that he was being forced to use someone else's ideology. That's why he won't play by. And I just think that what he's doing is based by he's trying to enforce what his opinion is.
The one thing I loved about all that was, did you see the video of their Debs from Wilson School?
Whose?
The kids from the school.
No.
Their Debs, and they were all chanting "Free Enoch Burke."
No way.
Oh, it was unreal. The DJ.
So what age was he teaching?
I don't know what age that child was, but the older students that had their.
So this is. Do you know what? For some strange reason, this shows you how much I've stayed away from this. I thought it was a national school.
No, I think it's a second. No, it's a secondary.
Yeah, it makes sense now. Of course it does.
Yeah.
If Enoch had a job, he is obligated to do his job.
Nah, fuck that.
If he wasn't willing to follow the school's directive, he should go. But also, Jim is just after pointing out that he wasn't told. It was just a school policy, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Positive energy goes exactly, Shannon. So, that's positive energy is just explains that's why they agree with you on that, which everyone's entitled to do. You can. Everyone,
I wasn't invited.
Everyone can't be right.
Yeah.
I'm here as an opposing opinion.
But this is what we're gonna. This is what this challenge is about. It's about having a frank conversation. We agree on 90% of things and we disagree on 10, and we air them out and discuss. And there's no harm in that. But I'm right and you're wrong.
That's why I said everyone can't be right.
No one claims to be. This is the
Chris goes, he shows a picture here of the Jolly Roger flag, the Skull and Bones flag for the straight lads that got kicked out of school. Well, I kind of kicked that one out myself. Yeah. It's not a gang of pirates we're trying to bring up. Right, guys. Sorry, Maurice. Go on.
Go on. I was just going to say, tell them when we're back. Anyway,
we're back again around 9:30, 9:45. As if you haven't noticed, when we put up these things on Instagram that we'll be there at 6 o'clock. We're Irish, and I'm Stephen Kelly. I am notoriously late for everything. So
in bed this morning when I got here?
I was not. I was not. We will be back at 9:30. We're going to aim for 9:30, but if it's 9:45, don't come. It's probably my fault.
Okay.
Right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
Chris.
Thanks.
I'll do it. You see, I'm used to it. I threw that on him. Right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, stay safe, stay healthy.
stay away from yourself.
Good luck.